Hello everyone, hopefully this is recording. It's about my fourth attempt, but I figured I'd show you how to record a link and place it between two tracks in Reaper. I'm going to go through the basics. I'm going to start a series of videos, but what I've done is I've opened up Reaper. That's just what you'll see whenever you open Reaper. I'll do another video on how to connect your microphone, I hope. And I've also got a playlist here in iTunes. You need to own the music that you're going to be broadcasting. Spotify isn't an option because we're going to be dragging the music from somewhere on your computer, be it in a folder or on another music device, but you need to be able to drag it into Reaper, and you can't do that with music streaming channels such as Spotify or Deezer. So I own all the music, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Reaper, just a simple 2-track playlist there. But I'm going to go to Reaper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Insert, and you head down here. If you see here, it's got the keyboard shortcuts. That's just handy to save time. So if you want to press, and that is Command and T on a Mac, must be Control and T on a Windows computer. But I just went to Insert, Track. This top one is going to be my spoken links. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Insert, Track for Music 1. Insert Track for Music 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to iTunes. This is my playlist. This is let's just call it the first show in Roots Conversation. And I'm just going to highlight it, left click on the mouse, and drag it into Music Channel 1. So this green line is your playhead. Think of it as a stylus on a record player. I'm going to put it to the beginning. You could do that by going down here and going back. You can see there's a gap between the music, so I press play. I'm happy with that. If I wanted it sooner, then I'd move it to the left just by dragging and dropping. You notice how it snaps to the lines. Can you see the lines in Reaper? Yeah, it snaps to that. Preferred it first time round, so I'll add a bit of a gap, plus it help my link. Then I'm going to move, I better explain myself. I zoomed out there using a fancy button on my mouse. But all you need to do is use this. So let's go back to the beginning, sorry. Use this to move to the end of the track. Click it so that the green line or the playhead, or acts like the record stylus, is in line. Just move it a bit more towards the end. I used my fancy button again. Then move that towards the end. Then what I'm going to do, hopefully this will work and hopefully I won't deafen myself, I'm going to record the vocal track. Remember, this track at the top is where I'm going to be putting all my spoken links. So record testing. Bit of a lag. But you can see it's working because it's got vocals there. Try and switch up. No, that's mute. There, no. 1, 2, there. I think I've got rid of it. Hope that hasn't stopped the recording. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my vocal. So you're listening to Harrogate Community Radio. My name's Andrew Backhouse, and this is a demonstration of how to record a link in Reaper. There, press stop. Just getting the bit at the end where I said, and then I press stop by dragging, topping and tailing by dragging. You notice looks a lot smaller than a music track. Well, I'll show that how to edit that later on. But now we need the second track. So what we do is we put the playhead at the end of the speech. You can see the sound wave there. It's a very small one because it's very quiet, but then all we do is we go back to iTunes and I'll be dragging it into the second track. Sorry, fancy button again. So just hoping to make a 10-minute track, 10-minute show here. It's quite a long track. Yep, need one more track. So I'll go to my record collection and add another track in iTunes. Then I'll do one more link and add the third track, and then I'll show you how to wrap it up at 10 minutes. You'd be making it for an hour or 2 hours or something. So what I'll do is I've record armed this, it's glowing red, you can see when I speak it moves up and down there. Then all I do is I press the record button. That was Dubbing is a Must here on this test program on Harrogate Community Radio. Up next is Roots Natty Congo Dub by King Tubby. There, press the stop button. So there you have your audio file. I'm just topping and tailing it a bit by dragging it. Can you see where the mouse changes? You want it in the middle. At the top it turns to a quarter of a circle. That's a fade in out. I'll show you that at the end of the show. But you want it halfway down in the middle, and then you can top and tail it like that. Then we go to iTunes again and go to Roots Natty Congo Dub, and we import it into the last music track. So I won't be starting one track for each song. I'll be going so that it's just on 2 tracks. It's a lot easier to manage then. So alternating between the 2, you go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 1. And then, sorry, fancy button. Then we need to go to the 10-minute mark, because I said this would be a 10-minute show. Click on where it's 10 minutes, hour, 2 hours, however long you want. If it runs out before the allotted time, then just let it play down. Leave it empty. Then what I'm going to do is, I think it is, normally I use a key cut, but I think it's edit. No. Item. Split items at cursor. Then that's highlighted the second part. That's now. Delete that. So that is exactly 10 minutes of audio, but it ends quite abruptly. So I'm going to make a fade out for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the top right hand corner here. You can you see how the mouse has turned to like a wedge of cheese, a dairy slice. Then you move it to the left. Now, we noticed that the audio files that we spoke were a bit quiet. Well, what you do is you select just one of them, you go to Edit, select all, then you right click, command click on a Mac, right click on a Windows computer, then right click, then item processing, then you see where it says normalize items. What you want it is peak minus 2.90 dB. Adjust monomedia in addition, an additional -3%. Normalize each item separately. Then you click on OK. Then you can listen back to it. That was Dubbing is a Must here on this test program on Harrogate Community Radio. Up next is Roots Natty Congo Dub by King Tubby. You see, it's a lot more balanced. And I think in the next video I make, I'll show you how to bounce down the show. You've made your first show, so let's save it. There we go. Thanks.